Okay. On our agenda tonight, the first item is the budget. We'll have a brief update. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay. So not much. This is a streamlined version of what you've previously seen. And I wanted to work with the board tonight on making sure that the budget goals were very clear to the community. Certainly the first bullet is to stay within the tax cap. The district's done that since the inaction of the tax cap, but even in a very difficult year, which this is, they still remained under the tax cap. Right now, unless something catastrophically changes with the budget, we're preserving programs for students. We did look at a lot of different scenarios that did go beyond some cuts and some attrition and some capturing some things in that way. But at this point, the budget that we are presenting thus far preserves all the programs for students. It's sensitive to the current fiscal climate, recognizing that people are having a very difficult time with inflation and all other costs associated with living. It utilizes all available aid to keep rising costs at a minimum and explores cost-saving options, consolidations, mergers, consortiums, opportunities to share costs with other districts, etc. Strategically manages reserves and fund balance. And for those of you that paid attention to our last meeting, this was a great topic of conversation about how to incorporate positions that we offered with COVID funds into our general fund and manage the fund balance and reserves in a fiscally responsible way so that it takes care of the budget this year, but also doesn't put us in a really bad situation for years to come, because you don't want to kick the can down the road. You want to be making short-term decisions that have long-term positive impacts. And then lastly, supports the students, families, and taxpayers of the district. Our taxpayers and our students deserve the best, and we want to make sure that we put together a well-rounded program instructionally, for staffing, extracurricular, etc. It has the best facilities that we can have. So budget to budget. Last year, or this year, our budget is $27,776,808. The proposed budget as of right now is $28,914,675, which is a $1,137,867 increase, which is budget to budget a 4.10% increase. And again, there's several cost drivers that are associated with the 4.10% increase. They are our contractual obligations. Most of our employees are under a contract and they have negotiated contract increases for salary that are incorporated into it. Health insurance. This has been a driver of our costs that is completely out of control. And right now we've conservatively gotten estimates of a 14% Highmark increase, 9.1% of Caremark RX, and CDPHP has an 8.8. Again, these aren't finalized. We hope to have them finalized by tomorrow, but this is just a one-year increase. If you remember over the last couple budgets, we've also seen up to double-digit increases. So this is exponentially increasing, and it doesn't stay in line with the tax cap. Special education placements, the cost of those are escalating, and they're actually becoming less and less available. So we have to take whatever's available to service our kids. O&M increases. The buildings are getting older, and as they get older, parts complete, things need to be replaced. We've done many $100,000 projects. We've also done 2 large capital projects in the last 10, 11 years. We have a proposed capital project, but again, just like your home, there's preventative maintenance that has to happen for the building to stay safe. Transportation increases, the increased cost of buses. They used to be modestly priced, somewhere in 100, 125,000, and the price of them has risen exponentially. I will note that this has nothing to do with electric buses. This is just the cost of your regular either diesel or natural gas bus. And then certainly as some of the buses age out, we replace them as part of our normal replacement cycle, just like you replace the cars in your house once they age out. We have a responsible replacement plan. This year includes replacing 2 of our buses with 2 new buses. Increased CTE participation. This is something we see as one of the strong points of our district. Our budget for BOCES has increased pretty substantially, but our participation has increased substantially. This includes not only special education programs, but VOTEC programs for juniors and seniors, New Vision, etc. There's items that come up during the year that weren't budgeted for. You may remember a handful of things like in previous years, the SRO was added after the budget was developed. So over time, those things come up. Positions from COVID funds move to the general fund. That includes an extra teacher to lower class sizes, a school counselor at the elementary school, etc. And then certainly, just like at home, all the things that we purchase for school have gone up substantially too. So supplies that we used to be able to get pretty cheaply, they've gone up at the same rate as the things that you see, including gas, electric, etc. Here are expenditures, and you can see the year-to-year change. And this is just a graphic representation. As you can see, 3/4 of our expenditures are people, and we're in the people business, so that makes sense. We service people, and we have a lot of employees. So salaries and benefits takes up about 3/4 of our salary. Others include things like supplies, etc. Our tax cap is 3.5, so I want to contrast that with the budget to budget increase. The budget to budget increase was 4.1. The tax cap is 3.5. That's an increase of 510,000 and some change. The recommendation at this point is going out of the tax cap. I do believe that you'll see some of our neighboring districts go out above the tax cap this year due to some of the same fiscal conditions that we have. We've received a pretty significant loss of foundation aid, which is 122,342. We're hopeful that that'll get restored, but we won't know until the governor publishes the final budget. We will be using additional fund balance to balance the budget this year. Traditionally, over time, we've used anywhere from about 300,000 to 500,000. This year, we're going to be using a little bit over $1 million. And then we'll be allocating 300,000 of our reserves to make up the difference. Year to year, you can see the change in our tax levy, state aid, other revenue, and our fund balance. And during our audit and finance, it came up, I thought you only lost $122,000 in state aid. Well, there's also other forms of state aid just besides the 122,000. This is high cost aid, transportation aid, building aid, and all sorts of other things. So year to year, we're down $300,000. So in addition to our current problem, one of the things that I strongly suggest is that people advocate for fair funding for all schools. Again, you can see we happen to be a district that more than half of our budget is made up of taxes. And in some schools, that is a very different graph depending on the demographics of their school. And this is a Rensselaer County per pupil spending graphic of the latest school report card data that I was able to capture. And you can see that over time, we have been incredibly fiscally responsible. So much so it made it very difficult when looking at a difficult budget year because we don't have a lot of extras in our system. And I'm sure this will change over time as well, but this was just the latest year that was published.
The median is 21,000.
Yes. If the red line is the median spending in Rensselaer County.
So the median is 21,000.
Yep, we're at about 18 and some change. Anybody have any questions on that one? And this is hard to read on here, but this is all connected to all of our Board of Education agendas. And this is a 10-year budget glance from 2014-15 all the way to 2024-2025. It includes our revenues, which are property taxes, fund balance, state aid, reserves for a total of our revenues. It indicates what our tax levy and tax levy percent increase. And we've been 1.82, 1.96, 0.89, 1.5, 2.82. In 2019-2020, we were 4.25. 299, 275, 199, 2.58, and 3.5. So we've been at or below the tax cap limit. And then there's our expenditures, and it goes into salary, insurance, FICA, retirement, postage expenditures, other expenditures, buses, architectural services, capital outlay project. And as you can see, we've been doing $100,000 projects per year for the last 10 years. I struggle touching it. Well, you can look at it online. Any comments from any of the board members about the budget or Stephanie? Okay, so our next meeting, which we're going to talk about in very short order, we're going to have another audit and finance meeting at 6 o'clock before that meeting. And hopefully we'll have some better numbers with health insurance and our final state aid run, which hopefully will be better than it is. Anybody in the audience have any questions? Budgets? Thanks.
All right, great. So that brings us to approval of the minutes. Tammy, Jenna, all in favor? Okay, that brings us right back to the superintendent.
Just a couple of items that I just want to bring to your attention. It's very difficult to speak about a budget and all sorts of constraints we have in the budget, not to celebrate and recognize all the wonderful things that occur within this district. So the first thing, and I think Maureen has it right in front of her, we have won a safety award through our insurance company. And I mention that because that means that we're really taking care of all the things that an insurance company would see as incredibly valuable to keep our places safe. They also gave us $500, so we thank them back for that. And we're actually going to be putting that towards our wellness program to just kind of invest into some of the things that we think are important for the overall wellness of our faculty and staff. The next thing I want to show you is the rural schools video. And for those of you that aren't aware, we have a TV studio and it has blossomed over the years. And the kids are really doing some terrific things in here. And this was a contest that they put together. It was all their idea. And it's going to take a couple minutes to start. It's dark on purpose.
Does anyone can care that I'm here? Am I invisible? I'm just a number here. I don't fit in. I don't feel accepted here. I know I'm not the only one who feels alone. Jeez, man. What was that for? It's so crowded. But now it feels like a chore.
The Jordan Michael Project Fan Club meets Wednesday, December 6th in room 518. If you're interested, you should be there by 2:15.
And don't forget, the book club is the for cheerleaders. So anyone interested should bring a good attitude and a copy of 1984 by George Orwell on December 14th for an introductory meeting. Moving into our human interest segment, we have just learned about a very special story.
Is that so? Tell me more, Sheila.
We heard there's been a miracle at Tamarack High School.
Oh, no way. We'll have to dive a little deeper into this. So on location is our very own Thomas Kane.
Thank you, Ron. Thanks, Shia. I'm here at Tamarack to interview staff and students what they think the miracle of Tamarack is. So, Mr. Jakes, what do you think the miracle of Tamarack is?
Family. Very relaxed. Awesome. Never a dull moment.
It's fun to work with teenagers, fun to work with my coworkers.
Food.
Working with good people. I bleed red. I love the community.
It's welcoming and small.
Studies.
The art.
It's inspiring.
A great place to work.
Amazing.
The food.
The people that I get to work with.
The students.
It's really fun and I love it. Familiar. The students.
Exhilarating.
A place to go
I
to.
love the small community.
The same at Tamarack.
Students.
I'm so happy to find you in this school. What's up, bro? Everyone here feels like my friend. I'm just so happy. What's up? What a nice young lady. It looks like everyone's just so happy and having fun. The best part is it's so small, so everybody knows each other. Everybody gets along. I really feel like I matter here. Everyone here is just so helpful. What's up? Oh, it's so just good now. You know, I really feel this place I belong.
Hey, oh, hi, what's your name? Jacob. Jacob, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
What do you think the miracle of Tamarack is?
You know, from where I've been and the friends I've made in such a short time, just being here is a miracle.
Huh. Thank you, Jake. No problem, Jake. I guess that's a miracle. Back to you, Ryan. Yeah.
Wow, that was very inspiring, Tommy. Thank you.
Yeah, it was quite moving. I love the topic. And that's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Always be your best. And remember, today is your day.
It's pretty nice to see when kids came up with that theme on their own, when given the options.
So is he a transferring student or? Okay.
And just a reminder, our concerts series are coming, and in my opinion, we have the best music programs in the area along with our art program. So if you get a chance, stop by, particularly the fact that it's showcasing the new auditorium buildings, lights, cameras, the sound system is phenomenal. That's it. We'll go with building administrator, so let's change it up. Mrs. Who's there?
Good evening.
Sure.
Not much to report since the last time we were just here. We will be heading out after April break to go take a look at our pre-K students who are identified and coming into kindergarten so that we can be sure we are properly placing them with the right services and programs. And we're really focused next week before break on hopefully going through and interviewing our SLP speech and language pathologist candidates that we posted for a while back. There are 3, so that's very hopeful at this time of year. That's about it.
Mrs. Honorado.
One thing I wanted to highlight for you all, particularly this week, is our elementary school select choir has been invited back again to the Capital District Youth Chorale Invitational Concert, and they'll be performing on Saturday, 3 p.m. at the Schenectady Union College Memorial Chapel. They performed there last year for the same concert. They're the only elementary school choir. There were other middle school and high school choirs there, and I am a little biased, but truly, our kids were the best. I mean, it's a really special, moving experience to see how professional they look up there and relaxed and how amazing they sound. So I'll be there on Saturday, and I look forward to sharing with you how it went. And Mr. Siegenthaler works very, very hard to put this together, so I really want to recognize him and, you know, taking the day on Saturday in addition to all the work preparing for this ahead of time. And it's a real family affair. Mrs. Siegenthaler is his accompanist, his kids come along, so I look forward to sharing with you.
Yeah. Is there any way that we could maybe get like a recording of it?
I can find out. I was gonna ask
Okay.
Elliot. I don't know, but
Oh,
but
good.
if I wonder if it's live stream, but I'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll be filming it, so,
Okay.
yeah. Well, with my phone, so you'll have something.
Well, I was just wondering if we could borrow the camera.
Yeah.
They may have it. A lot of them do now. I do think there's a small fee to get in though.
There are tickets, there's some pre-sale, but they sell them at the door. I think it's $15 for an adult and $5 for any student K to 12. So more to come on that.
Mrs. Norton.
So I don't want to take this away from you. You're gonna talk about our trades fair, Carly?
No.
Okay, perfect. So we had our trade fair at the school today, and the counselors put together a great program with over 30 different organizations that came in to not only share what they offer to students, but even hold on the spot interviews when ready and available for those students. So it was a great opportunity, and we're very excited that it went so well.
Actually, you can pass it right to Carly. Right to Carly.
So since the last meeting, there have been a few events. First, spring sports are officially underway. They have all been going great. The school musical also happened, which was amazing. We had the spring fling, which was great. Tamarack's tie-dye day was on Monday, and there was so much tie-dye around the school. And the chorus concert was last night, which was amazing. And then next week we will have spring break, which everyone is looking forward to. And next week is also Spirit Week. And the days are Neon Day, Purple Day in honor of epilepsy, Western Wednesday, and MLB Day, which is in honor of opening day, but also in honor of Evercross.
So that leads us to committee and liaison updates. Does anybody have anything? Okay, I guess I did want to comment that, I've heard some talk that maybe we're not a transparent board. And, the budget, for anybody that wants to get involved, the budget is there. I think we answer questions whenever they're asked. And we want to be as transparent as we can. So I just want to put that out there. And I think most importantly, I want to put out there to the people who don't come and vote, we need to get the vote out. And more importantly, we need to really advocate for our kids through legislators. So I think we're going to try and put up on the website contact phone numbers and emails for all of our legislators. And we're going to ask everybody to please contact them because as you saw in the budget presentation here, a lot of the money that we lost is money that the state had been giving us year after year. And our expenses go up and our state aid goes down. And that's something that none of us at this table have control over. Only the state legislature and the governor control that. So we really want to, get the word out, encourage everybody to just write a quick email, give a quick phone call to those offices. It's the only way we're going to get them to recognize us. So I think that's all I had. So that brings us to the change in the board meeting date.
Oh, no, 6.2.
Of the calendar, I'm sorry.
So, I just want to bring a couple things to your attention. So we have 2024 calendar. I just added the give back days because now they're a reality, right? And as we go through just the end of the year, just make sure all the dates, everything's traditional. You'll notice that the June is a little wonky. There's a lot more gray spots in the calendar. There's different Juneteenth we're celebrating for the first time. That's a legal holiday and the way they do regional exams. But that last week of school, we'll have a full day on Monday and then we'll say goodbye and move to classes that half day on the Tuesday. And then graduation will be on Wednesday. Next year, we're back to a Friday graduation, which aligns, but I think you'll see it across the board. Some are doing it on Wednesday, some will do it on Friday. And my understanding was the kids really wanted it on Wednesday because they wanted the faculty to be a part of the graduation. That was super important to the kids. And then 2025. This is the proposed calendar for the 2025 year. Again, it's got the built-in snow days, give back days, it's 5. Built-in snow days, you'll notice that it's got 2 weeks at, yes, there it is. So you'll start on the 23rd, and then that first week of January is off as a break. So, just every 8 years or something, it happens in that way, but that was a huge priority to our faculty and staff, and we take those recommendations very seriously. So if the board feels comfortable with this, we can make it an action item. And vote on it.
Motion. Tammy, Kevin? All in favor? Motion carries.
And I will also have, Laura did a nice little, our communications person did a nice little graphic about it, but it's just a good reminder Just, hey, there's those give back days, just because you never expect to give back 5, including, and we've gotten a lot of solicitations lately, like, what are you doing on the solar eclipse day? We have that day off, so.
Okay, and we don't need to do anything with
The
the
change of,
meeting date, right?
nope, but this is just to memorialize, I happen to be away, I'm chaperoning a trip to Europe with the kids, so I won't be here. But it'll give us a little bit more time to get some of that budget information anyway. So the board meeting will be moved from April 4th to April 11th, just 1 week later, and we'll widely publicize that change on the calendar as well.
So that brings us to the curriculum hours, motion to put that on the table. Danielle, Leah? Any discussion?
No, this is just to support some of the substitute teachers that are doing beyond just the watching the class, they're doing some of the grading and curriculum planning. We're really thankful to have some of our graduates and former employees that are willing to come back and serve us in that role. It provides a lot of continuity for our kids, and we have a lot of mature employees this year.
All right. All in favor? Motion carries. Brings us to a policy update on admission of non-resident students. Motion to put that on the table, Ryan? Danielle?
So this is at the recommendation of our attorney, and based on some of our experiences, we do have a handful of tuition paying students that attend Tamarack. What we've come into just recently is that some of those tuition paying students want to go to a program that's outside of our district that actually costs more than we make tuition wise. And I don't think that's fair to the district taxpayer. So we just added an addition to this policy on the bottom here, and I'll just read it to you because it's the important piece. Right here. Non-resident students will only be admitted when there's classroom space within the district and the district is able to offer such placement without incurring any additional cost, and nothing in this policy shall authorize the admission or maintenance of a non-resident student whose admission maintenance as a student in the district requires an additional expense. So for the most part, if you're just going into grade 3, that's no problem because we're not adding a program. This is very much specifically for those outside programs that cost more.
Great. All in favor? Motion carries. That brings us to special ed. Motion to put that on the table. Danielle, Leah? All in favor? Motion carries. That brings us to personnel. Let's do 10.1 through 10.7 on consent. Kevin, Danielle? Any discussion?
Just I'm happy that we were able to fill all of our coaching vacancies minus lacrosse. I know many schools in the area really struggle with that, so I just want to thank all the coaches that do what they need to do for our kids. I think that's really important. The other thing I just want to note, is appointment of election inspectors. We still need more poll workers. So you have to be a district resident to be a poll worker, but we are good. We could still use a couple people because if they drop at the last minute, if anybody's mom, dad, neighbor, uncle wants to do anything, please just let me know. Sometimes you have last minute things that to do.
All in favor? Motion carries. That brings us to 11.1 through 11.5 on consent. Danielle, Leah? All in favor? Motion carries. And that brings us to public comment. No public comment?
Hi, Reagan. That's your New York State girls wrestling champion right there. And she had a very member of kids today, right? Did you read that?
Oh, so you didn't.
You were supposed to read
You were supposed to read.
today. Actually, Reagan is one of the kids that goes to our VOTEC program. She's in the nursing program, right? So she's one of our candidates.
Excellent. All right, so I'd like to make a motion to move into executive session for personnel issue. Danielle, Tammy, all in favor? All right. Thanks for coming.
No.
Thank you.
You're right. No, it is just that, this year. For me.